I stopped buying stuff for a year. No clothes. No gadgets. No Amazon packages. No midnight impulse purchases. Nothing I didn't truly need. And what happened? It completely transformed my mindset, my bank account, and how I view money forever. The idea seems simple enough: cut back on non-essential spending and reset my financial habits. But this challenge, known as a no-buy year, wasn't just about money. It was about gaining control over my choices, my time, and even my emotional triggers. What began as a financial experiment quickly became a full-blown lifestyle transformation. Let me take you through exactly what happened when I committed to #NoBuy2025. At the end of 2024, I reviewed my yearly spending. Despite making more than ever, I wasn't saving much. My investments had barely grown. And my emergency fund hadn't moved in months. I wasn't in crisis, but I was coasting. I had subscriptions I never used. Clothes I hadn't worn. Technology I didn't need. It felt like my money was leaking out of my life one tap at a time. So I decided to hit the brakes. Hard. I created one clear rule: if it wasn't essential, I wasn't buying it. That meant no new clothes unless something wore out. No dining out unless it was a rare, meaningful occasion. No electronics. No cosmetics beyond basics. No home decor. No streaming upgrades or new subscriptions. I would continue investing, of course, and paying for food, rent, and bills, but the mindless extras were off the table. The first month was an eye-opener. I didn't realize how many purchases I made without thinking. I'd find myself scrolling through online shops like muscle memory, almost clicking buy now before I remember the challenge. That moment of pause, catching myself in the act, was the beginning of real awareness. I started to notice patterns. Bored? I'd shop. Stressed? Shop. Feeling successful? Celebrate. By shopping. Shopping had become my emotional outlet. Without it, I had to find other ways to process those feelings. In place of shopping, I filled my time with activities that didn't cost a dime. I went for long walks. I got serious about cooking. I rediscovered books I hadn't finished. I started using what I already owned instead of looking for something new. That blender in the back of the cabinet? It came back to life. Those shoes I hadn't worn in a year? Still perfectly good. Every time I fixed or reused something, I felt a small surge of pride. I wasn't depriving myself, I was becoming resourceful. And here's the wild part: I didn't miss most of the things I thought I needed. What I missed was the dopamine rush of buying. That feeling fades fast. What stays is clutter, debt, and regret. Over time, I started feeling lighter. I wasn't buried under boxes or decisions. I wasn't wasting weekends browsing malls or online shops. I had more time, more clarity, and yes, more money. Speaking of money, let's talk numbers. Over the course of 12 months, I tracked everything I didn't spend. On clothes and shoes alone, I saved over $1,200. No takeout or frequent coffee runs saved me another $2,400. Subscriptions I canceled, $600. Electronics and tech upgrades I skipped, $1,500. Home decor and random Amazon wants another $1,800. Altogether, I saved more than $7,500. But I didn't let that money sit idle. I used it to build wealth. I added to my Roth IRA, invested in index funds, and boosted my emergency fund. That money is now compounding, quietly working for me. 1 year of saying no to stuff added decades of financial security. It wasn't just about what I didn't buy, it was about what I built instead. Through this process, I learned some life-changing lessons. First, most of what we buy isn't about utility, it's about identity. We shop to feel seen, to belong, to feel successful. But when you remove consumption as a shortcut to self-worth, you're forced to redefine who you are without the labels and logos. You learn to sit with discomfort. You learn that joy can come from simplicity, from depth, not just from novelty. Second, advertising is louder than we think. Once you're not buying, you start seeing it everywhere. On your phone, on YouTube, embedded in your favorite podcast, even in the way people talk about success. The message is always the same: you need more to be more. Saying no to that message takes strength, but it also gives you your power back. Third, ownership comes at a cost. Every item you bring into your life demands space, attention, maintenance. It's not just the purchase price, it's the energy price. Owning less freed up mental bandwidth. I had fewer decisions to make. Less to clean. Less to organize. More space to think, create, and rest. I wasn't the only one doing this. Throughout the year, I connected with others in the #NoBuy2025 community. And their stories were just as inspiring. Natalie, a single mom and teacher, cut out fast food and clothing purchases. By the end of the year, she had paid off $8,000 in credit card debt. She told me her weekends used to revolve around shopping centers and drive-thrus. Now, she and her daughter spend Saturdays at the park, using the public library, and cooking new recipes together. Jamal, a high-earning software engineer, used to spend $300 a week on gadgets, meal delivery, and retail therapy. Despite his six-figure income, he had little to show for it. After joining the challenge, he cut back drastically, automated his investments, and saved over $15,000 in just 1 year. But more than the money, he said the biggest shift was feeling in control again. So how do you start your own no-buy challenge? Start small. You don't have to commit to a full year. Try 30 days first. Then 60. Then 90. Make a clear list of essentials: housing, food, transportation, insurance, and necessary bills. Then list the non-essentials you'll cut. That might include clothing, electronics, dining out, decor, hobbies, or subscriptions. Next, set rules for exceptions. Maybe you allow one dinner out per month. Or a replacement item if something breaks. The point isn't perfection, it's intention. Then replace the spending habit with something better. Read, write, walk, meditate, call a friend, declutter, or build a side hustle. Redirect that energy and time into something that feeds you, not just drains your wallet. Keep a journal of what you wanted to buy, but didn't. It helps track progress and reveals your old triggers. Celebrate those wins. Every unmade purchase is a victory. Every dollar you keep is a brick in your foundation of freedom. Over time, you'll notice something powerful happening. You stop feeling the need to consume. You're no longer a passive participant in your own life. You're not reacting, you're choosing. And that shift changes everything. When the year ended, people asked me if I went on a shopping spree. I didn't. In fact, I found that I no longer wanted to go back to my old habits. I still buy things now, but I buy with intention. I ask myself, does this align with my values? Will I still want this a month from now? Does it solve a real problem? That's what the no-buy year gave me: clarity and control. What began as a personal finance challenge became a mindset transformation. I gained time, money, peace of mind, and a deeper understanding of what actually makes me happy. And it wasn't stuff. If you feel stuck in your finances, if you're tired of working hard but feeling like you're not getting ahead, this challenge is for you. You don't need more stuff, you need more freedom. You need fewer decisions, less clutter, and more space to breathe. You need habits that build your future, not drain it. Start your no-buy journey today. Whether it's 30 days, 6 months, or a full year, just begin. Because once you stop buying things you don't need, you'll start discovering what really matters.